In the tiny town of Cibola, Arizona, home to 300 people, a firm called Greenstone, a subsidiary of the financial conglomerate MassMutual, quietly bought the rights to nearly all the town's water. Greenstone set out to sell that water to the highest bidder, shifting it away from the vital living use of agriculture and selling it to the Phoenix suburb of Queen Creek for purposes like filling backyard pools. As county supervisor Holly Irwin told a reporter, "They're going to make big bucks off the water, and who's going to suffer? It's the rural counties going up against big money." Not far away in Colorado, the hedge fund Water Asset Management, WAM, has become one of the largest landholders in the Grand Valley west of Denver as a way of advancing its strategy of collecting water rights. The hedge fund is following this strategy at the same time the region is undertaking a review of how to manage the water of the Colorado River, now threatened by drought, with flows shrunken by 20% in 20 years. For the last century, management of the river's waters have been overseen by the Colorado River Compact, a government framework with its attendant slow-moving democratic process of settling conflicts, struggling toward consensus and shared sacrifice through community and government negotiation. Will democracy remain in control? Or will the end run of faster-moving, aggressive capital turn our precious, diminishing water into a new object for financial extraction? Who will own the water of the earth? Who should own and control the water systems of our communities? Whom do we trust to be in control in the world of ecological crises we're coming to live within? With the advance of climate change, some of the most immediately catastrophic impacts are hitting fresh water, now seeing growing shortages sure to accelerate. In 2022, the water system of Jackson, Mississippi, the state's capital and largest city, utterly collapsed, leaving many homes with no running water. Numberless catastrophes like these lie ahead as we move into a dramatically different future for fresh water than the stable world we've long known. As rising temperatures, drought, and torrential rains disrupt traditional levels and flows of this resource that every living being daily requires. The United Nations World Water Development Report projects that by 2050, some 6 billion people, more than half the global population, will suffer clean water scarcity. Business understands this frighteningly well. In May 2000, Fortune magazine observed, "Water promises to be to the 21st century what oil was to the 20th century, the precious commodity that determines the wealth of nations." This awareness has spurred the new wave of capture sweeping the American West from the Rockies to Southern California as investors like Greenstone search out and buy up precious water rights. In the eyes of big capital, water is an undervalued asset. Big capital doesn't ask who should own water. Finance functions today as a colonizing force, and the colonizer seeks to own everything. Capital's aim is to possess water as a new asset class it can monetize in the face of looming shortages. Matthew Desario, WAM's co-founder and president, is frank about the ambition at work, though he speaks of it in the cloaked technical language of finance. Water in the U.S. is the biggest emerging market on earth, he says. It's a $1 trillion market opportunity. Water as the common property of all. It is from the standpoint of the colonized that decolonization begins, wrote Frantz Fanon, author of The Wretched of the Earth. It begins with the impassioned claim that our needs and our view of the world are fundamentally different from that of the colonizer. Water is a global commons, the common property of all, says longtime water activist Maud Barlow. Water belongs to the earth and all species. Access to clean, affordable water is a fundamental human right, she says, echoing the 2010 United Nations Declaration that water is a human right essential to all human rights. No one has the right to appropriate water for profit, Barlow maintains.